So on this video, we'll carry on with the face tracker, make something like this, putting face on objects, putting face on a photo, and also a little weird splitting face thing. When you open your mouth, it splits and moves objects. So as usual, we start with shearing effect. Then we're going to add a face tracker. Then while the face tracker is clicked, you'll notice over here, you can see texture extraction. So we'll do this, I'll show you what that is soon. Under the face tracker, add another face mesh. Then create a material, and change it to flat again. And now the face tracker texture, you'll see it came down here. If we change the texture here to the face tracker texture, it looks like nothing happens on the camera, but you'll notice down here, there's a face mesh that has your face on it. So to test it, you can move it around. We can remove the eyes and the mouth. Then we have a duplicate of our face. So now we'll add the object that we want to put our face onto. So I just chose a basketball. You drag it to the face tracker and then resize it as usual. Then when you're happy with the position, just remove the face mesh so you can see the face again. And then now what we want to do, we want only the eyes. So how we do that, there's a thing inside the material. You'll see this tick called alpha. And what this does, it allows you to select the texture that will define what part of the texture is going to be invisible. So what we're going to do, we're going to make everything except the eyes invisible. So in the description, there's another download link for the file. We call it v2 face 3 and then choose just eyes as the alpha. So you'll see it's done sort of the opposite. So what we do, we click invert here. There you have just the eyes, and to get rid of this invisible thing, just click advanced render options and untick both of these. Then you have to move the basketball above the face mesh here. There you go. So then you can play around with the size and stuff. So it usually looks cooler if the eyes are really big. So then after that, we want to add the mouth. So what you can do is you can Control C this face mesh, Control C, Control V. And then what that does is it creates another material like before. So then on this material, it already has the face tracker texture because we copied it. But now all we want to change is the alpha. So we click here and new texture and then do just mouth. There you go. So then from here, again, you just make it a bit bigger. I think big mouth usually looks good. There you go. That's a basic face on an object. What else you can do is you can completely black out the background. I'll show you how to do that. So down here we go, plus rectangle, and then while the rectangle is selected, up here on the width, click this and go full width. If that doesn't happen when you click, just go to relative and change both of these to 100. And also, actually, let's do the material first. We'll do the material, create a new material, go into the material, change it, let's say flat and white. But you'll notice as well, when your head is not close, it'll disappear. So move this canvas above the face tracker, and then inside the material of the rectangle, change these options. And there, so no matter where you'll be, the basketball will be in the front of the background. So you might notice as well that in the folder, there's two alphas for left eye and right eye. So you can use these if you want to use single eyes by themselves. So for example, something like this, where you could put many eyes around your head, or you could make some sort of monster or something. It's just a way to get individual eyes out by themselves. So next one we'll make is something like this, just putting your face on any image. So first thing I did, I just went to Google and found the image of someone, save the image somewhere, and then bring it into the software here. So the fastest way to put this onto a image and onto a plane is to right click and animate spin, And then when this is down here, just drag this around and press delete and then close this. Then make it to your wanted size. Also change it to flat. Also, I'll just hide this basketball for now. So what you can do, you can select both of these face meshes, because there's one's for eyes and one's for mouth. Duplicate them and take the new ones like above this plane here. So you'll see that they're there. So then what you want to do, you just want to scale them back to the normal size and position them how you want them. There you go, there's another silly filter you can make. And this is the next one we'll make. The interactions with mouth open. So for this one under the face tracker, so what I did, I just hid everything else. You can just create another project if you want. So under the face tracker, face mesh, and then new material, flat, and then face track texture again. Now what we're gonna need is to cut the face in half with an alpha. So take the alpha box, and then in your folder there'll be vertical half. So that's the one we need. Then you can see down here it's got 1/2. So then we click this again, Control C, Control V. And then for this, the second one, change the material, open the alpha and invert. So then you have two separate halves down here. So like in the previous video, we had the mouth open patch. So the way to get back to there again is right click the face tracker and create patch. And then from the face, drag to mouth open here. Before we used mouth open, so when I opened my mouth, it was doing a switch. But now we want to use mouth openness. So what this measures is how open my mouth is. So when it's closed, it's 0, but when it's open, I think it goes to up to 1. So what we want to do is we want to link the openness to moving these face meshes sideways. So I'll actually name these. So you can double click to name it. This one is the left, and this one is the right. We want it to move based on the openness. So first what you want to do, you want to move it a bit and see how much on the X it has moved on the X position. So it looks like 0.07. So I'll Control Z to get it back to the start. So what we do, openness, drag it to multiply 0.07. And then this multiply, we want to link it to the position value of this mesh. So when you click the right mesh, you'll see the position has a little arrow here. So click this. And because as well, this is outputting only one number and we need 3 numbers, we have to drag this to a pack patch. And then so this would be X, Y, Z. So this is correct. So the multiply will be on the X axis. And then we drag this to 3D position. So now when I open my mouth, the face will move. Then what we do, we just do the same thing for the left, but it goes the opposite way. So it'll be negative number. So click the left position down here. And what you can do is you can select these two, Control C, Control V, and drag open state to here and change this to a negative number. And then when you drag it in here. So what I'll do as well, I think it looks better if you take the eyes and the mouth off. Maybe mouth on. You guys can decide. What you could do as well, you could put another face mesh behind these two meshes. So right click face tracker and another mesh and put it above on here. And then, so now you see it gets uncovered when you open your mouth. So you can just change it to a color. I would get rid of the eyes in the mouth. And then material, create a new one and change it to black, I'd say. Whatever you want. Then as well, you could put maybe pictures inside or something so it reveals something. I don't know, do whatever you want, have some fun. So you might notice it's a bit buggy in the middle, sort of when you're sort of half open. So that's because the black is overlapping the front meshes. So just like before, select the mesh, go into the material, advanced render options, and turn these off. It's still making the error, so do the same with these two materials here. There, it fixed it. So if you want, you can play with these values down here. So for example, we've only moved the X value with open mouth, but you could play with maybe X and Z. So you can see it comes towards the camera. X, Y, and Z, it'll go in other directions. Same for this one. Also, you could, how we link the position here, you could click the mask and do rotation. So because it won't be 0.07, this is measured in degrees, we would change this to, let's say 15 degrees, and link this. So it sort of rotates, you can see. Let's try 30. Then as well, so this is going 30 for all the values. You could do another pack thing like this just to move individual values. So yeah, that's all for this lesson. Enjoy.